What's going on, guys? So today I wanted to do a unit review on Lyon. Now I know Lyon's been out for a while, but the reason I want to do a unit review on him is because I've seen a lot of people losing to cav lines as of late, and that's what he was supposed to be created to defeat. So I really wanted to go over some of the best skills you can use with him, one in particular that I think would really help a lot of people, and that way no one would lose to cav lines with him anymore. Disclaimer, this does not include dual Lif or Lilina, which, you know, obviously annihilate Lyon, and you really want someone else on the team to tank those kinds of units. This is purely based on cav lines that only consisted of green and blue units, and Mirabilis was the only red unit on the team that they had. So yeah, it's a little crazy, honestly, but we're gonna go over the skills and probably help out some people that may have just had one copy of him and they just aren't aware of some of the best builds you can use for him. So without further ado, let's go right into these skills. So before we go over anything else, I want to go over his actual weapon. His weapon is basically a +3 attack coupled with the fact that he gets a lot of damage reduction on ranged units. Now, if the ranged unit is just using their normal weapon, he will get a 50% reduction on their attacks. And then if they use an AoE, that'll be an 80% reduction on AoE specials. So that's an amazing amount of reduction, which is why he's so good against cav lines. Cav lines always have ranged units in general. And then also he gets a triangle advantage against any kind of colorless foes. And obviously he's already good against blue colors anyway. So that's really good. Green, he's pretty all right with. It's about a 50-50. And then red, of course, you want to stay away from at all costs. So I just wanted to go over his weapon a little bit, just so everyone knows exactly what it does. So the first skill I want to go over is Bracing Stance. Now, Bracing Stance gives you +6 to both defenses, but the real big part of Bracing Stance in its third version is the fact that it prevents your opponent from getting their special or activating their special. Which is essential because that allows you to stay alive the longest. That takes away any kind of Aether, any kind of Ignis, any kind of huge special that's going to really devastate your HP. Now you can switch these out for other bracing stances, not bracing stances, but stances in general. If you want to go for more attack, or maybe just resistance, you can do that as well. I like Bracing Stance because it allows you that if there's a physical unit on their team that gets to you quickly through like Wings of Mercy, things like that, you're able to still tank the unit. You'll actually see that in the gameplay later. But stances are essential to stop specials from being able to hit you. That's basically the only reason you would use them. So just keep that in mind. Find a stance that you like, and I would use that. The next skill we're going to go over is actually an optional one. It's Times Pulse. Now, usually people run either Soul or Noontime, and I feel like having Times Pulse allows you to use Soul more consistently. It actually gets you more HP, which allows you to stay at a higher HP threshold, which is really important, and it allows you to get more HP back, which is really, really good. And this next skill is really important for you to stay at a high HP threshold, so that's why I'm running it. And let's go ahead and go into that skill now. So the last and most important skill is Quick Riposte. And I know it's an old skill, and I know a lot of people, you know, run Quick Riposte on him, but I have seen some people who haven't, and I think that's a really big deal because that's the difference between winning and losing against a cav line. Now, the misconception is because Lyon has so much attack, a lot of people think he's just going to be able to one-shot a lot of the things he's good against, but any cav line that someone has taken the time to truly create is not going to get one-shotted by Lyon, even if he has the advantage. And Quick Riposte really, really helps you get those kills and make sure that there's no one left after you've been taking on the units you're supposed to be good against. So you guys are really going to see that in the gameplay. I tried to emphasize that most because I feel like Quick Riposte is a thing that people are really missing out on and is really making them lose battles that, you know, they really feel like they should have won. So we're going to be going over that in the gameplay. And here we go. Alright, so getting right into the gameplay. As you can see, we're using the super budget build, and I think what most people are running without quick riposte. And I'm going to show you why distant defense ×2 is probably not the best option, and why quick riposte is such a big deal in order to actually defeat cav lines with him. So what I've done here is I've set up a cavalry team, and basically, usually cav lines consist of healers and a couple of mages that have obviously really good range, maybe even some bow units. All of these Lyon can actually really deal with, except for red tome units. Now, if they're using Mirabilis on Anima, that'll probably be their only red unit. And the only thing you have to really worry about there is if they have Wings of Mercy and they're able to actually get to you through one of their other units being damaged. Which you will see here on the very first one. But what we're going to do is we're going to let Lyon tank this. Now, Nana is going to use Restore on Duma, get danced by Mirabilis, and attack us. And as you can see, we're only hitting her back one time, which allows her to survive with just a little sliver of health. And will allow Eldigan to get Wings of Mercy. Now, if that was Mirabilis, we'd be taking a lot more damage. And of course, they get drawbacks. Now, in this situation, Lyon can get the kill on Eldigan, but he cannot attack anyone else that he really needs to prevent this pressure from being on us. And no one else is able to take out Eldigan. Now, we could use Micaiah's dual skill in order for us to be able to take out Eldigan, but let's assume that you were using a different Micaiah and that wasn't an option for you. This is a big situation that's really bad. So basically, Lyon can't really take out any of the units now because there's way too much pressure on us, and even if one of the units is out of range, they can easily get danced by one of the dancers and be in range and pick off one of your other units, which is obviously what you don't want to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to back out. Now, we're not even going to use the best build. We're simply going to put quick riposte on Lyon and show you how much of a difference that truly makes in a match against a cav line. So, same exact strategy. Now, I know it's a bit simple, but when we do take out Nana here, notice how much less pressure we have on us. Also notice that we actually do get soul off here. So by using quick riposte, you're also probably going to see your special actually get activated and procced more. So as you can see, Olwen drew back Eldigan, and now the only things we have to worry about are Duma and Reinhardt. Certainly. We're going to skip Micaiah's animation here. And we do take out Reinhardt because we do have color advantage, obviously. Now, if we look at the danger area, as you can see, not as much pressure. Now, obviously this won't happen every time, but if you are taking out the units and not just damaging them, you're going to have a lot less pressure on you, and you're going to be able to take out these cav lines a lot easier, because in a lot of situations with cav lines, the first turn that they initiate combat, they are meant to be all over you. And if Lyon is actually taking out these units in the first round of combat, there will be a lot less for you to clean up after the first phase is done. So that's the biggest reason why you're supposed to use quick riposte on him, and that will really help you guys out in all your future battles. So if you guys liked the build and liked the skills, let me know down in the comments, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next unit review, and take it easy.